What we're going to do now is really give clarity as to what's going on. Simplify it like we do over at Master Boxing so it's not confusing to you, the viewer of the major fight that's going down. First of all, when you are putting all of these techniques and skills in front of the fighters and these trainers that are coming out, it's very confusing on how to actually apply it. So I'm going to keep it simple. Deontay Wilder is a smaller guy when it comes down to the 6'9" Tyson Fury, 270 pounds on just a typical day. And that's in shape. Here are the golden rules of boxing. The first thing, with a slippery man that you cannot hit, your objective is to bring them to you so that you can walk them into punches. Because if you're chasing that guy down, he's going to make you look silly because he has the elusiveness. Now, what we're going to do is take a look at this training video. And as you'll see, some of the strategies that Malik Scott, former competitor of Deontay Wilder, is going to walk him through. Now, you're going to be, if you have your thinking caps on, you're going to see him do a couple of drills that you may have seen. They're familiar. Let's take it out and I'm going to walk you through and explain what's going on. He's giving him the slips right here. He's keeping his head moving and getting him under the hook. What that's doing is helping Deontay really get into the mindset of slipping anything that Tyson Fury throws at him. Let's see what else goes on in the next sector. A lot of throwing jabs, double jabs, creating the slips and stuff. So pay attention now. I want to give you a little insight too, to throwing the double jab. What has to happen when you got a guy like Tyson Fury in front of you? You want to make sure that that dude is not getting away from you. So one thing that I can see Malik Scott doing is he gave one quick segment of cutting off the ring. That should have been the mass of this. Because what's going on is fighters don't understand, and some of the newer trainers, because he was a fighter, he wasn't a trainer. Some of the newer trainers are in a position where, as you see right here, he's moving really good. But Deontay Wilder needs to be doing a constant ring, cut off the ring drill, because that takes muscle memory. This is a good segment, man, of boxing. If you guys are training, working, but just pay close attention to what you see and what I'm going to break down that really truly needs to happen as well. No count gives you everything, but you see he got very good sharp, he's throwing hard, sharp punches. I like the consistency because he's going to need his cardio in a certain place. The thing about this is this: when you get in those pads on your hand and that vest around your body, if you don't understand what the true algorithm should be of that fighter, when you're fighting a guy who's as elusive as Tyson Fury, you got to draw him to you. So you got to teach him how to work and go off of his back foot. I don't care what else you do. Everything else, like they always say, you can't squeeze blood out of a turnip because it's not there. So I don't care how hard you hit it or slice it or burst it, it's not going to bleed. The only thing's going to come out of it is turnip juice. But if you cut a human being or an animal, they'll bleed. This is the thing. You're trying to create something that's already been proven. He's already gone head up with Tyson Fury, right? I'm going to cut this very short because this breakdown is going to give you true insight. When you're trying to go head on with a man that's 40 pounds your weight disadvantage, you're going to have a very tough night unless you land the dynamite. Now, cutting off the ring will allow that to happen. But what about the other 85% of the fight that you have to actually get punches off as well to do damage. I love the double hook to the body. I love the jab and then follow it with a straight right. But the thing about this is it's all about not just consistency, but something happening. So you have to take a look at this, the Ali drills. You have to pull a guy to you like Ali did, George Foreman like Ali did, Joe Frazier like Ali did, all of the guys, including Cleveland Williams. He pulled those guys to him, Sonny Liston, and he made them play their apple card. Boom, lights out with the 1-2. When you run a person into your punches, it hurts worse. The thing about it is this: taking those angles creates confusion, and it makes people who have very high IQs lose their composure. So the first battle is to get Tyson Fury to lose his composure. And if you're just fighting, that's not going to let that guy lose composure. The first fight, he won at least 8 rounds on most people's scorecard. Some people gave him 10 rounds, except for the 2 rounds that he got knocked down, and he actually came back and did good in that second fight. So I want you to be clear on this. In the first fight, he came back in the 12th round after being knocked out. This is important. Trainers, take this Bible. Whenever you are in a scenario with guys like Malik Scott, he's doing a lot of the drills that Roger Mayweather did, which tells me he watched a lot of Roger Mayweather video. The Black Mamba was great with mitts, but the Black Mamba had one of the most athletic boxers, pure mind thinkers in boxing history. Let's make that clear. I used to use some of the Mayweather boxing skill drills until I learned that you got to also learn and teach your fighter how to fight. When you got a prize fighter, you got to do what you need to do, not what you want to do. It looks like to me, it's a bunch of a new face to trainer algorithm from Malik Scott. Good drills. Thing about it, those are small man drills. Drills that you do with welterweights and middleweights and things like that. Heavyweight drills are different, and you got to be able to develop this guy's muscle memory for the fight. So, I'm going to make it clear from my opinion and what I see. Say, hey, it looks like the strategy is lacking the most important thing, which is walking them into you. And that's how you deal with anybody that's slippery or stronger than you. You walk them into your punches, and that's off your back feet, like you see right here us doing. It's a reason why we do it. You float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. This is the power hand breakdown from the Real Fight Doctor. On the most knockouts in boxing history, fight fans, boxing aficionados, don't get this wrong. You don't have to get the number right, because the internet don't even have the number right. But who had the most knockouts in boxing history? And don't even say Mike Tyson. It's not even close. Drop your comment anyway. I know you're probably watching late tonight or tomorrow. Don't matter. Ace Johnson, that was good, man. You a little late to the dance, but if you answer at least 3 questions, that's going to give you admittance, and we'll make sure that we got you covered. Oh my gosh, Ty. Jack Johnson, no. But he was great. He was definitely great. Sugar Ray Robinson, nope, not even great. What's so crazy is this dude had more knockouts than Sugar Ray Robinson by at least 30. Now that is some serious stuff. I'm gonna give you guys Billy Bird. Nope, but good answer. Carlos Zarate. Nope. Anthony. Man, it's good answers, yo guys. I might have to give you Julio Cesar Chavez. Now, for younger generations, you think that, but he didn't even have as many fights as this guy has knockouts. Man, 2 people put Julio Cesar Chavez. But that's a good guess. Mayweather, man, who you talking about? You talking about the Black Mamba Mayweather? That's the only one that had a lot of knockouts, but no, not even close. The correct answer is, I'm going to put it on the screen. All take heat and go Google them, pull them up. Archie, the old mongoose Moore, not just Archie Moore. with 141 knockouts. Archie Moore, good chance if you got in the ring with him, you got knocked out. And if you rematched him, you probably got knocked out again. He had the sweetest science of boxing in boxing history. His downline consists of Tommy Brooks, George Foreman, Muhammad Ali's from his downline. He taught Muhammad Ali a lot of the verbal Cassius Clay excerpts. He gave him the understanding on how to utilize that to get his points across and get what he wanted in the sport. Because of course, Archie Moore was an advocate for people more than just the boxing mogul and the knockout king, as we call him, because he had more knockouts than anybody. And with that being said, I was nominated to be over the Archie Moore Foundation as the family's brain trust. If he wanted that bravado, he would have been that dude that really created those creative ways to get people to fight by calling out people like Rocky Marciano. And even though he lost to him in his later days, his objective was to lay down a platform and to be an advocate. So he taught George Foreman. He taught all of these guys. He invented the turtle shell, which mutated into the peekaboo style. You can't take this away. This guy was an absolute mogul. Oh, mongoose, Anthony. I like that. I like that. We got to get you. Larry would kick my butt for not knowing that. Yeah, exactly. I'm sure Larry would. Man, look, Charlie's getting in. That answer, man, all of you should have known that. And that's the thing. How can you know where you're going if you don't know where the game came from? Because the story of Archie Moore is insurmountable. It's none that can match it. This dude had the most epic story. He lived through 5 generations of boxing. You know, he fought through 3 of them, then led champions and the greatest fighter ever. You know, enough said. So imagine what his story is like. So I get an opportunity to get it firsthand. So I feel fortunate and that the family thought enough of me and what I'm doing in the sport to put me in that position. So special shouts out to the Moore family. So that was the question. What are the hallmarks of the original turtle shell? I'm trying to find the connection between it and the peekaboo. Great question, Eastwood Boyd. Thanks for tuning in out on YouTube. I see YouTube is really, really popping off right now. So thank you guys for taking the time. The difference is not. The turtle shell was designed to block through the forearm guard. All right. So even when I talk about the peekaboo and I'm here and I'm talking about it, J. Marie Moore, who has the right, is the daughter of Archie Moore, the old mongoose. And she tells me, Eric, that stuff is not the peekaboo. It's about peeping through the guard. All right. And you have to have strong form because people are going to kick and you can block. Bam. I mean, you can, for uppercuts, you know, you can catch the hooks. It's a lot of different, but you got to know how to do it. And you can bing, bing, and you catch it and you go into the shell. Boom, Philly shell. That's why if you don't understand these techniques and things, and this peekaboo is about looking over the glove, being able to defend, right? But it's all peeping through. So you can see this doesn't consider peekaboo. It's this where you're peeping off the glove and boom, boom, and you're looking and it doesn't matter the motion. You just start tying those things. That's windshield wipers. Like I always try to tell people, come into the Top Trainer U program in the School of Boxing and learn the origin of boxing, because we are over 120 years in boxing knowledge in this sport. So if you really want a true grasp on boxing, then learn from the historian in boxing, the program. And so we're choosing 3 people today to jump into that program for 4 entire weeks to see what we do, and for being boxing advocates and knowing enough to answer questions. So if you are just watching now, drop your name down in the comment box to one of these questions that's in trivia and, you know, increase your chances, because it's worth it. When you get into it, it's an education for boxing minds, and we create the boxing integrity for the sport.